Welcome back to Curious Modeling. If you've ever tried to make sense of how people work, think, or stay engaged, then you know, behind every great people analytics project, there's great data. But what kind of data are we talking about? Where does it come from? And just because we can collect it, does that mean we should? Let's dig into that today in episode 2 of People Analytics, the data behind people. So here's the thing. You can build all the fancy models you want, but if the data they're based on is wrong, or even just misunderstood, you're not helping people. You're building black box chaos. So the question is, what data actually powers people analytics? A lot of people assume people analytics is just pulling data from HR systems, but it's way more layered than that. Sure, you've got your HRIS systems, Workday, SAP, Bamboo HR, which is kind of like the central record of who works here and what they earn. But that's just the skeleton. You've also got your hiring data from applicant tracking systems, places like Greenhouse or Lever, that help you understand things like who applies, how long it takes to hire them, what qualities you rejected before discovering they work really well. That's already getting interesting. Then there's data from performance reviews, learning platforms like LinkedIn Learning, and often employee surveys that tell you how people feel about working there, not just how they perform. And lately, companies are even using communication data, like how often someone's in meetings or how fast they respond to email. It's one of those things where, yes, the insights could be useful, but it starts to feel just a little creepy, right? So if we step back, we can actually group most people data into 5 big buckets. First is demographic data, things like age, gender, maybe location or education level. It's sensitive, but it helps you keep things fair and inclusive. Next is behavioral data. This is the data version of digital body language, like how often someone logs in or who they collaborate with. Then there's performance data, the stuff from annual reviews or peer evaluations. You've also got sentiment data, which I personally love because it's where we capture how people actually feel through surveys and engagement platforms. And finally, qualitative, life cycle data, every step of someone's journey, how long they stayed in a role, when they were promoted, why they left. But, and you knew this was coming, all this data has one big problem. It's messy. HR data is famously untidy. You've got missing fields because someone forgot to set up the onboarding form properly. You've got names spelled 6 different ways. You've got someone marked as an active employee even though they left 6 months ago. This stuff happens all the time. So before we even think about building predictions or writing algorithms, we're cleaning data, stitching pieces together, and trying to avoid losing our minds over a column that just says N/A for like 40% of the rows. And the thing is, if you don't fix it, your insights won't just be wrong. They could be unfair. This is where ethics kicks in. Look, even when your data is technically legal to collect, the way you use it decides whether you're building something helpful or harmful. Frameworks like GDPR in Europe or CCPA in California make it pretty clear. If you're using data about people, respect their privacy, let them know what's happening, and don't collect more than you need. Because in people analytics, trust isn't optional. If employees feel like you're surveilling them instead of supporting them, they're going to disengage or quit, and your whole analytics effort starts working against you. Let me give you a quick example. A few years back, a company started analyzing how long it took employees to respond to emails. Their theory was that fast response times equals more engaged employees. So they tracked it without telling anyone, and as you can imagine, it was not well received. Not only was it creepy, people suddenly felt pressured to reply to everything right away, just so they wouldn't look disengaged. And the company? They wound up in a firestorm of legal and PR problems. So yes, data is powerful, but if you use it without context, ethics, or consent, it's not people analytics. It's just bad leadership with fancier tools. Now that we've explored the foundation, where people analytics gets its data and what makes that data usable, we're ready to move into something way more fun: models. In episode 3, we're going to unpack predictive hiring, what traits matter most, how do resumes get scored, and the million-dollar question, is AI the future of hiring or a train wreck waiting to happen? You don't want to miss this one. Hit subscribe, leave me your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode.